Hi, guys. Today's Wednesday, March 25th, and I hope you're ready for your daily spirit reading. All right, let's start with an opening prayer. And an opening prayer is so important because what it does is it puts your analytical mind to the side and it lets us tune into spirit. I open my heart and mind to a higher influence. I imagine before me a direct radiant link from my conscious mind to my higher self, my spirit, and all the divine forces of the universe. May this sacred connection now speak to us through these cards, and may the messages we receive be clear, truthful, and aligned with the highest good. And so it is. Ready? Let's get started. All right. Hmm. So these readings have been so meaningful to me in the coming weeks. And I really do think that I'm getting guidance from a place that is once my highest good. And I trust that message very much. So, and there's something really special that's happening too, which is going into this sacred space every day. And I actually it sets my day to go a good and a different direction. So I often go for the star. Like if I see this little star peeking out from the edges. Actually, this one's calling to me. Right. Okay. Um, the one that caught my eye at first is balance. And interestingly, my situation lately in my personal life and my work life has been very busy. And I'm not feeling like I'm underwater, but it's definitely calling for some form of balance. And I can see how my guides or the guides are calling for some kind of balance and rethinking of how um, time is split and how much of it is going to things that maybe are not necessarily aligned with me or and it doesn't have to just be activities, it could be also mental things that you spend on mentally. um yes, the tornado, that is definitely what's happening. I do have a week off next week, and you would think that I'm ready to relax and put my feet up, but I've never felt more like things are in a whirlwind. And so these two together, this is definitely seems to be like a guidance and an acknowledgement that things are right now really, really, really like a maelstrom of craziness going on, but that there's a call for balance. Now, the closed door also seems to me like, again, when spirit gives us guidance, it is very gentle. It is never going to push a solution onto us. It is always just a gentle suggestion. And that is something that I so recognize now. It's like I recognize the signature of spirit, and the signature of spirit is the gentle nudge and the gentle reminders and the gentle advice. And so that is interesting about door, and it's a closed door. I mean, the set does have an open door, but is a closed door. And again, I do think it is a solution that's being offered and put forth as a way to sort of address the maelstrom, the craziness, is to start thinking of things that I need to close the door to. I need to close doors to certain activities. I need to close doors to certain repetitive patterns that lead me to the same dead ends. For example, there are certain eating habits I might have. This is just for me personally, and it might apply in a different way to you. But for me personally, it's like an eating pattern that I know will lead me to a place where I'm going to be more tired and I'm going to be, it's going like I eat something that might inflame my muscles or my body, and I will retain water, and I'm just going to feel like really heavy and tired, and like I'm dragging around, and I don't feel, and that leads me to just feel kind of yucky emotionally. So interestingly, it's saying just close that door already. Like I'm getting this sort of feeling of like just close it already. Just be done with it. Don't keep that door ajar. Don't keep just an inch open just in case. There is no just in case. There's just some things that need to have a door closed. There are just some things that you just need to close that door, lock it, and leave it on the other side, and don't engage it any further. So again, I feel like these two cards are in a like an advice or the guidance that's being provided for how to address this maelstrom that is happening. I'm also sort of being drawn to the idea of the quiet in the center of the tornado, and there is something to be learned from that as well, which is being that center, being that energy that, despite everything that's going on around them, is able to remain calm. So again, that's like Spirit will never give you advice for something you can't do at the moment. It is always like just the next rung, like what is the next rung? And interestingly, for me, I feel like that is a rung that I can, it's a teeny bit of a challenge, but I know I can do it. And the challenge is be that center calm in a moment of craziness. Be around the world, because I'm not a monk sitting in a mountain somewhere. I am in a classroom full of kids who are very hyperactive. I am in a school with hundreds of other humans, adult humans, and then several hundred students. So reaching that sort of center calmness is um far and in between most of the time. So the call here is also, so this card also is guidance in terms of like finding that space, that center space within yourself to be that calm in the storm. And how does that look like for me? Because what it looks like for me is going to be very different than what it looks like for you. If I can tune into it for a second, what does it look like for me being the calm? For me, it's very physical things like slowing down my speech. Maybe taking some deep breaths. I really find that taking deep breaths in that moment where I feel like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? There's those moments that we all have had at work or wherever, in personal life, whatever. And just taking deep breaths. I'm just feeling out a little bit more any other guidance that's coming through with that one. That's interesting. The food. It always comes down to food, because like taking care of yourself, and like I'm getting this sense of like holding yourself. Like when you get up in the morning and you make yourself that nourishing meal for the day, you are basically holding yourself. You're showing yourself love. So again, those are little tiny little tips that I'm sort of getting downloaded to me at the moment of how to be the center of the storm, where there is the calmness and being that calmness in the center of the storm. Wow, that was a really beautiful reading. So I wanted to ask you, let me just remove the pen for the cards. And I wanted to ask you, what are you closing the door to? In order to reach balance, in order to reach your balance, there we go. In order to reach balance, what are you closing the door to? I would love to hear. That is our reading for today. Thank you so much. And yes, I did cut my hair, and I am wearing makeup today. I do have a young daughter, and we both talked about going on YouTube and learning how to put eye makeup on. And interestingly, I think I'm going to do that. So you might see me with some interesting looks in the coming weeks. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.